Technology screens. We are working on an advanced ambient light rejection ONYX Titan 39 Invisible. So we're seeing how it reacts to different forms of surfaces, as in plexiglass, fiberglass, stuff like that, plastic, anything that's transparent. And one of the things we're testing it out on is a form of micro mesh surface. So seeing how it reacts on one application, one surface application, and two surface application. This is the two surface application here. That is the one surface application there. So it reacts differently depending on how many applications of a surface that you have. Some people want it where they don't want the image to punch through. They want it to stay here. This is fantastic. Like I said before, if you're using it for a projection screen, that wind can travel through it. Because when you have screens like the 250 in the back, when the wind hits it, these things actually fluctuate quite a lot. And there's a lot, you have to tie these things down because there's a lot of force that can cause the screen to pull up. But this right here, we're using the micro mesh and its formula. That means building screens or outdoor projection screens with this material, with this coating, means that air could travel right through the screen, and then you wouldn't have to worry about the screen fluctuating or blowing all over the place because there'd be no friction because, you know, air can travel through it. And that's the whole purpose. And other things we're working on it besides that. Also, too, in advertising, it's cheaper than plexiglass because, again, it's something you can hang up in your window, hit it with an ultra short throw projector. You can advertise off of it. And it's, like I said, cheaper than plexiglass. It's a better way of going of window advertising. All right, so we have two different forms of it. So we have one with one application of a surface, one has two. Now, the one application, as you can see, an image can push through the other side. Two applications, no. Which is actually, against position, would be three. So we'll push this back here so you can see this is what you're going to get, a faint image. That's basically about it from the back. And then from the front, you're going to be able to pick up a solid image. So this was just coated a few minutes ago with the technology outside. Now, where this comes in handy, because some people may want to have use this for an outdoor projection screen. They don't want people walking by in the back of the screen being blinded by a projector at the same time. So putting two applications of the material on, you only have to pay just one side. You don't have to paint both of them, just one side. You would be able to have that outdoor projection screen without having the image punching through the other side and hitting anybody who's walking on the other side. It'd just be one-sided. If you're using it for storefront advertising, then you would put one surface down and coat it, and this way you can get an image that would punch through on the side. Now, I would advise, if you are using this for window advertising, to use ultra short throw projectors. As I said before, I've done some work for a company over in London, and they had all these storefront window displays for the invisible technology, and every last one of the projectors were ultra short throw, because ultra short throw projectors reflect off a mirror and then they bounce back at the screen, which kills a ton of the lamp glare, where these bad boys at the end of the day are going to push that image right there, and you're going to see a little bit of a glare pushing through. So this will cut down on the glare right here, but you're not going to be looking at this from the back anyway. You can still see the screen, you can still see my hand on the other side with no problem, but as I said, the screen cancels out right here with the second application of the surface. And then in the front, it picks up perfectly. It doesn't disrupt this angle gain at all, period, whatsoever. It's just that with the two application of surface, you're not going to be able to pick up an image from the back, but the one you will be able to. And with three of them, as you can see, three of them combined together, this one, two in here, and this one in here, you're not going to be able to pick up anything at all. See here on this side, you can't see barely nothing. On this side, a little bit more clear. So we've been asked a lot of questions about if you were to apply two surfaces on it, 3, 4, what would be the reaction? What would happen? And just going to get it better. There you go. So one side is going to show, as I said before, transfer the image right through with no problem. Alex, I would suggest using them with ultra short throw projectors, unless you're going to have this high up somewhere and a projector is going to hit it where a customer's not going to walk in the back of it. That's understandable. If you're going to be using it for a floor display, I would advise ultra short throw for the one that has the one surface application. This has a one surface application, but it does have a second screen onto it to actually block out any of the image from pushing out the other end. So I just want to make sure that we got that clear. So right now we're outside doing a couple more tests. Kind of wish I didn't get rid of the screen door. That was a bad idea. Could have used that in the demonstration. All right. Now keep in mind, we make several versions of this coating. We actually have a crystal clear version of it. We do advise if you use a crystal clear version of it, it's fantastic if you're using it for a form of projection where you want to be able to advertise your window wares in the window, but also to be able to advertise a little bit of a commercial on the glass. That is fantastic for that application. But keep in mind, because it's it's invisible, you're going to have some issues with picking up on an angle gain on it. But usually most people are staring at a storefront window. Very rare and do this. Most of them are just looking dead on into the window like this. So I don't think that's going to be an issue anyway. All right, so we just got a few more tests to run. We have some outdoor tests to do too, because a few people are asking about outdoor applications. So we're going to have to build a much bigger screen. I'm going to go with, I actually have one right over there, but I don't want to take it down because I got lights wrapped around it. So, and this one's too big. It's way too big. So we need about a 100-inch screen outside. So I'm going to have to go pop over. I got to go to Lowe's anyway. I got to pop over and pick up some lumber. We'll build a 100-inch screen with the micro mesh material, and we use it outside. We want to do a 2-screen application layer and then coat it, because we don't want the image punching out the other end. We want it to stay here. I need for the air to be to travel through the screen and out the other end without the screen fluctuating and without it moving. Because I said before that when you have a screen size of these screens right here, doing some spraying right now, when you have screens this big, biggest problem you're going to run into is wind hitting the back of the screen. Oh mercy, in the front of it, these things would jump all over the place. So you see the whole system I have there on the floor, on the ground, that is 6-inch corkscrew spikes that are actually with stakes that are drilled into the ground, and each one of them have a bungee cord attached to them. That's what you have to go through when you're dealing with screens this big. The more wind it's going to hit the screen, the bigger the resistance you're going to have. Now, if this thing was pretty much that micro mesh we have there in the shop, we wouldn't need all this. We wouldn't need any of this tie down nonsense. None of this wouldn't even need it, because air could flow back and forth to the screen. Wouldn't be an issue. All right, seriously, they should make inflatable screens that way. The issue with inflatable screens, are very light. It's a very light screen. And then you have a surface in front of it, which means when the wind hits it, that causes the screen to push in or push back. And when you have that surface like that surface, that micro mesh, air can flow back and forth without causing any resistance to the frame. That's one thing I noticed when I used to go to shows. I used to watch the screen just go boom, 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 just back and forth. No matter how tight you pull it, it's still going to be resistance when the wind hits it. And that would save a whole lot of time. So we're going to build one, put it out here for testing. Where we're going to put it at, tell you the truth, honestly. I guess we'll put it here. Yeah, we'll put it right over here. So we'll build ourselves an outdoor screen. We're just going to stake it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to build a frame. We're going to put 2 extra long stakes on this side and this side. We're going to drop them into the earth, throw some rocks and pack it in with some dirt, and then we'll put another stake for the back of it, so that way the screen stays steady, so if it doesn't push back. Put another stake to the back, and that's it. That's all we're going to need. And you'll watch air flow right through that thing constantly all the time. Where this monster right here, we got to stake that sucker down. Stake it down. All right, well, that's pretty much it. We're going to be back and forth on here, just showing off stuff we're going to be working on and things we're going to be doing. This is micro mesh. That's not micro mesh. This is a different form of material. That's not micro mesh. Even though light can pass through it with no problem. The big screen right here, it's not this. This is what you need to pull off the effect. This one would still give off some kind of resistance because it's not micro mesh. Air can flow through it, sound can flow through it, but not enough air to flow through it to keep the screen stabilized. You have to have this in order to get it to work. All right, well, I got to get to shopping because I got to build me a 100-inch screen of this stuff to have it out there for testing. For them windy days, but it came in pretty handy about right now. We could buy a leaf blower or something. We're going to do something, but pretty cool, though. All right, people, that's basically about it. I think we took an ultra short throw out today, too, but we haven't taken an ultra short throw demonstration aside in a while. I got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.